the first fly in our series of fly tying, and it's the Caddis Larvae. Now, if you look in your book on page 4, there's a little drawing of one of them, and you can see how it's curved. So we tie this almost invariably when they get loose from a rock or anything, they curve. They're really important because they're there in the water almost year-round. And they grow, get bigger and bigger and bigger. When we have a hatch, only 70% of them hatch, so 30%'s there. So the first thing we do is debarb by hooks. Well, these new packages, you'll be happy to know that our hooks are debarbed already, barbless hooks. And you'll have the curved hook. And so you get started by getting a hook out of the bag. And you're going to place the hook in the vise. Now, because it's curved, it may seem a little odd to you, but you want most the average shank to be pretty much parallel. Okay, and you're going to tighten it down like that. And the curve's not real big. So in your packet, you're going to find 2 bags of dubbing. One's going to be lighter, one's going to be a darker. When you tie a caddis, lighter is on the abdomen, which is the back half of the fly, and the thorax is the darker color. So to get started, we're going to start our thread. And the way we start our thread is we just put it up near the eye and then wrap it back across itself. Okay? Now, just a little hint. If you leave yourself a fairly long tag, you hold it up, and as you wrap down the hook, each wrap will go right next to the next one. So don't get in a hurry. Take your time. And what you want to do is you want to go past the bend of the hook on this. So it's definitely, you got that bent shape, okay? And probably go one more. And then take your scissors, and all you do is put pressure with the blade of your scissors against the thread that breaks. Now, next step of the fly is learn to dub. And the secret of dubbing is make it thin. Take more wraps on the hooks, but make the dubbing nice and thin. Don't get in a hurry and try to make really thick dubbing. It's not going to work for you. It's going to be lumpy. It won't be even. You want it even. So I pull a little bit of dubbing out of the pack, and there's a lot of little loose stuff that sticks out, and that's what we want to use. Whoop. I just broke my thread. It's very common to break your thread. When you break your thread, just start somewhere on the thread and just go ahead and cover it right back up and go right back to the last point, and you're ready to go. Okay, I got my dubbing. What's important is we want to take just a little few strands, just a little tiny bit, and we're going to put it on this thread by just twisting it between my thumb and my finger, okay? And if you look at it, it's kind of thin going on there, and that's what we want. And we can add more to it and make it longer, and we just keep working on it. And I'm put a little more on it. We're getting longer with our dubbing here. And it's gonna, I might have to do this 2 or 3 times to get this fly done, but that's okay. Now, I'm going to shorten my thread up just a little bit, and I'm going to move it right on down. Okay, and we're going to start right there. The dubbing's just starting. Okay, and I'm going to dub it up, right on up to 2/3 of the hook. Okay, and that's okay at 2/3, and now I'm going to wrap back down. And you can see as I do this, I get more and more of a taper in my body. So I got a nice tapered body there. I don't like the very last part of it. There it goes. So get a nice pleasing taper. Now, we're going to do the thorax, same thing. Don't need much dubbing. And I'm going to kind of just put a little bit on that thread, just a little tiny bit. Now remember, we're not going to worry about little hairs hanging out to the side because they move around in the water and just get the fish's attention, drives the fish nuts sometimes, and they just go after and strike it because it's too alive. Okay, so we got enough there. Now remember, we're going to finish this hook, so we don't want to go clear to the eye. We want to get right up near the eye, but we don't want any big high pile right where the eye is. Get this nice and tight on the thread, scoot it up there. You notice I don't wrap with my thread way out long because you just don't get as much accuracy when you do that. Okay, now I'm going to take a couple turns around the front and I'm going to get out this tool. It's a whip finisher. And I start with my finger on it so it doesn't move. And the hook part goes in here. And then there's a little notch and that goes there and that just lays right where I want it to go. Okay, and I just wrap it around. Now, I don't like to put head cement on my flies. And so I always do my whip finish twice. Okay, now, if you can't get it whip finished in your tool kit, there's a tool that has a hole in the end of it. Okay, and basically you can take this tool and put a couple of 3 wraps around it, okay, and put that over the end of the fly and just pull it down on it. Okay, so it's like this. It's a half hitch, and you can put 1, 2, 3 half hitches on it, and that's going to hold it just fine too. One more comment about this fly is there's options that are listed in your book. We don't include the materials for those for the simple reason that you're learning. We don't want you to learn how to rib on this fly. You're going to learn it on the next fly. We don't want you working with the bead. You'll be chasing the beads around. What we want is you to tie, 9 or 10 flies. Okay? If you can do that, if everybody can do that, then we'll go on to the next fly next time. So you're going to have a video to watch, and you're going to have the beads. Any comments or questions? Did I cover everything? Okay.